Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. I want to say first, thank you so much for continuing to watch these videos, for being a part of the channel. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on right now and people have a lot of things on their mind, and it's a difficult time to figure out what is right, what is wrong, what should we do, what should we not do. And something struck me this morning as I was reading through the news which I do every morning, and it's this: Apple supposedly, possibly, has put the iPhone 9 into production. Now, a week or so ago, John Prosser, Front Page Tech, through sources, told us that the iPhone 9 was going to be indefinitely delayed. We didn't know when it was going to happen. We still don't know when it's going to happen. But I guess now John's sources are also telling him that the iPhone 9 is gone into production. They are ramping back up, and I guess over there in China, they're able to do more stuff as they come out of the back end of what we are just now going into. This just gives me a little bit of pause. Maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me. I'm fine with it. But the thing is, why is Apple making the iPhone 9 right now? Why would they put it into production right now? I keep hearing dire things about what's happening in the world. I hear things like in New York State, they estimate that they're going to need 37,000 intensive care beds to get through this difficult time that we're going through, and yet New York State has only 3,000. I hear things like Elon Musk and others are saying that they'll retool their factories to help make ventilators because ventilators are in short supply and there's just not enough of them, and there's not enough capacity to make enough of them. And look, I realize that Apple has responsibility to their shareholders. They have production schedules. They have all of these things that are very important to them as a company. And Apple has always been very good about being altruistic about how they operate their company. They've shut down their stores. They've done a lot of things over the years to become more environmentally friendly, etc., etc. I get that. And I'm not really calling Apple to task here exactly, except for the fact that it just seems a little tone deaf. It seems a little wrong to be in this place where you are sending into production a phone that doesn't need to come out, let alone the fact that the U.S. government, which is run by the conservative branch of our sort of political spectrum right now, has just passed a bill that's going to actually give citizens money, because so many people are out of jobs, so many people are having incredible upheaval in their lives, people are dying, people will continue to die. This illness is not anything that anyone is taking lightly, but I just don't think that maybe we have the whole thing solid in our brains yet. So Apple's making these phones in part at a factory for a company called BYD. Now BYD makes automobiles as well as the iPod touches and that kind of thing. And when I hear that Elon Musk is willing to take the Tesla factories and retool for ventilators, and I hear that Apple is taking a car manufacturer and retooling it to make iPhones, it just strikes me as not the right place to be. Maybe this is a time when something like releasing a new phone or releasing new iPads or something like that is exactly what we need to, have a little bit of retail therapy while we're sequestered in our homes. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me how you feel about it down in the comments below. I myself am both very freaked out by what's going on, but also very concerned about how we as a group of people, how we as citizens react to everything that's going on here. And we need leadership from companies like Apple. Apple's the richest company in the world, and I would just love to see them out in front of this saying, you know what, we're putting all of this on hold for now, and we're gonna refocus on doing this, whatever it is, for the coming difficulties. Maybe it's that collectively we still don't understand what's happening. Maybe it's that collectively we don't want to admit what's happening. Maybe it's that what's happening is so scary that we don't want to think about it. That's quite possible as well. I have been told that I tend to be kind of negative, and people have told me that I flip-flop on things and all that kind of stuff. I do, and have for a long time really liked and admired Apple as a company. I use Apple's products. I'm not trying to denigrate Apple here by telling them that they can't do their business. I mean, there's so many things that I don't know about what's going on there. But what I do know is that we have a responsibility to all of the people around us, to all of the people in the world, to try and do everything that we can to help stave off the impact of this disease. And some people have an opportunity to do more than others. Some of us, we stay home, we do our thing. I make my YouTube videos. I try and be thoughtful. I try and be funny. I try and incite thought in people because that's what I love to do. Sometimes I make people mad, and that's not necessarily my intention. I just want people to think, and I just want Apple to think right now. Is it really necessary? Do we really need an iPhone right now when we have a need for so many other things? 40% of the nation's workforce is in the service industry, and there is no service industry right now. So those people are out of work. Is there something that could be done there? I'm a guy on the internet who talks at a camera. I follow this stuff. I think about it. It's something that interests me. It's something that's important to me. I've admired Apple as a company for a long time, in part because of their altruism, because of their humanism. And right now, it seems like we need more humanism than ever before. And the tone, at least, that this seems to set by going into production for a new phone, when who knows when we'll be able to leave our houses? Who knows when it'll be safe for people to leave their homes? Who knows when anything is going to be back to normal? It just sits wrong with me. And I thought it was really important for me to sit down and say something about it, to just put this thought out there with all of the other thoughts. You can tell me down in the comments below what you think about it all. I mean, should Apple be making cell phones when other companies are retooling their factories to make ventilators, when we need IV bags, when we need so many supplies, and our hospitals are likely going to be overrun by people who are sick and need help? It's a question that I don't have the answer to. This is a different kind of video for me to make, but I wanted to make it just so we could have this conversation. We could think about it. Do we need the iPhone 9 right now, or do we need something else from a company like Apple, the richest company in the world, a company that could make a really huge impact on the needs that we have at this moment? That's what I'm thinking about right now. That's what got me out of bed this morning, to sit down at the computer and start to type things and really start to think about this. It's a difficult time. These videos that I'm making and that other people are making are in part for folks to find a way to escape the things that are really difficult in this moment. But I don't think that should absolve us of also asking questions and having conversations about what is necessary, what is needed, what could be done by the companies that we know and love to help in this time of real dire need.